Black Box Productions.
On my mama. The boy Kurtisha and Tunchi. Tisha and Tunchi did an interview. I ain't pay no attention to it. Seen a few headlines. But it just blew my mind that the new headline is people on their head for talking down on black women. In today's climate where the celebration of our people in general is at an all-time high, two individuals with so much influence find themselves utilizing their platform to down talk black women. And it just blew my mind, the comments. I saw the comments quoted, where Kurtisha was explaining how non-black women are just different. They like it's something exotic. They so different than what you see in the hood every day. And I just in my mind, immediately get the picture of his mother. And then I think about the two individuals involved in the conversation. And one grew up motherless to the point where baby had him very young, kissing him on the mouth, saying that was his son. So his concept of a mother, at least in his personal life, is apparently distorted to where he has no respect to what his black mother is and was, or should have been, and what she represents as a whole in the connection to the black mother overall, whether or not his actual version was one that served him well. We do have scenarios where that things that are not fortunate take place and mothers are not adequate to raise children. And I don't know if he fell victim to one of those situations or not. However, it appears that he did when you find that he was getting kissed on the mouth at a very, very adolescent age by a grown man, and who claimed to be raising him as his father. So the absence of a mother seems to be apparent. So his lack of respect and understanding for the black woman initially would be understood had he not turned around and then fathered a black woman. That I find appalling, that you would engage in such type of conversation and support and not be man enough to speak against such rhetoric, even if you didn't suggest it or bring it up. You definitely co-signed it, laughed along with it. But then why would I be surprised when this is a dude that's comfortable in wearing leggings, being kissed on the mouth by a man repeatedly in public, never speaking against it, and then turn around and wear leggings? It's no surprise you have no backbone enough to speak up on behalf, if not your mother, who apparently or obviously was not present in your life to a decent degree, at least on behalf of your daughter, that who is not only a black woman, but she has a public presence out here. She is a black public woman that receives press, attention, and when you speak on black women in general, she is included. So that was real buffoonery, coonery, if you ask me. And then another comment that I noticed that was made was something about anger. And I don't know, it just seemed like it's a reason. The other one, he claims to have been growing up confused sexually because his mother was having sexual acts and having affectionate acts with the same sex in his viewing. And 50 has claimed that caused him to grow up sexually confused. And so if this is the type of imagery he has of his mother, and then we see the lack of respect and connection or love or appreciation or any word that we can consider a word of favor, he has professed to possess none of that for the mother of his child Marquise or the child himself. So I guess we shouldn't be surprised that either of them have a dysfunctional, um, how should I say, approach toward black women in general. Because from the first black woman in their life that typically we all, as black men or black children, period, learn to love, our mother, they had a very dysfunctional relationship that has caused them to apparently have dysfunctional relationships with black women, perhaps throughout life. So it kind of explains it, but sometimes when you pledge yourself to be the buffoon coon, it come back to bite you. But dude don't care. It's the same dude that said he was gonna stay single till he find the baddest on the planet. I wonder, is that what he is declaring he has now discovered or located in the woman that he parading around? Is she supposed to be that woman, the baddest on the planet? On my mama. Yeah, when I was around, and this is a question I just see. SPI, were you ever around 50 and his son when they were on good terms? Yep, I was around them when they was on good terms, great terms, at least it appeared to be. Well, the terms was great. He was a child, his father was an adult, and I don't know about beneath, the apparent scenes, but everything seemed to be intact. I myself developed a natural relationship with Marquise, being around him for a couple of years, a young dude like that. He obviously looked up to me in a sense, and then, he was a sharp young dude, and he was 50's son, so I admired him and was fond of him as he was to the whole camp. So you naturally would develop a bond like that. I've actually had the opportunity to speak to him once, and I think I communicated with him a couple of times on social media since he's been at odds with his pops. But I remember running up on his pops in the beginning times when that whole thing was brewing, shortly after the house had burned down that he and his mother was living in. And I remember his pops was like, made a comment. I think Keith was like 12 at the time, but I know his pops made a comment like, I know he young, and it might not be right or something to that effect. It might be heavy for him to have to deal with or something like that. He was like, but he going to have to decide what side he going to choose, him or me or her. He said if he can't make his mind up, and he made a gesture like kicking him out the window, he was like, shit, he can go out the window with her. I was like, cuz a fool. The moment's so memorable because at the time he was preparing to play a role in a movie where the character was going to be named Spider. And he had some little French braids, extensions in his hair, trying to do his best Spider. Now, the character wasn't based on me or nothing. It was just a coincidence. It was just irony that was the scenario. Oh, my mama. But I just look at his interest in film and the reenactment of the story. I could just see right now any story he want to tell. He got a perfect flashback character. Anytime he want to tell a story or do something, but based on the relationship, he's not able to do that. And that's just one small part of, what there is to be able to utilize that he's not being able to. Just having that relationship with your seed is such a valuable thing. It's like really what life is all about. Here in the Black Box, we definitely pledge ourselves to 2 L's, and that's love life. And that's what I love, not only the life I live, but the life that I created. That extension of my life is just as pure and appreciated to me as the life that I live. Not only my children, but their children. And then the life that created me, that whole extension, that connection of life to me is dear, it's precious, more precious than anything I have ever experienced or possessed, to the extent that I would trade it all at any moment in defense or protection of said life. Not just mine, but all those that I love. So it's odd that with an individual who's so comfortable articulating himself on this and that and why and who and when and where cannot come up with more than 2 or 3 BS sentences to try to describe why he finds himself at such a state of dysfunction with his own seed. I mean, we've seen him work out so many things. He has all these bromances back and forth, in and out with so many individuals, but somehow he's beefing with a man who he started beefing with before he was even a man. Oh, my mama. I don't get it. Then I seen something where Halle Berry was like, it's crazy, bro. Halle Berry was like, finna have a movie role, and they wanted her to play transgender in the movie role, and she turned down the role because of that. And then she posted a statement saying, I should not have considered the role because it just didn't sit well with her. Curtisha posted on his IG, you wanted to do what? Why? Oh my God. So if I still think you're beautiful, I'm gay as a muff. No, next idea, LOL. So now, the dude who gonna stay single till he find the baddest on the planet now declares that because Halle Berry considered and then thought better of playing a transgender in the film. Now, if he now still considers her beautiful, he considers himself gay again. He's always referencing himself as gay and why he thinks he's gay and what he's done to feel gay. And, you know, I want to applaud him if this is his, you know, actual attempt to come out the closet and show more courage than Buck Jenner. Because living in your truth is better than being in denial of, you know, who you actually are. The freedom of just being who you are has to be a comfort. I know I appreciate it on my mama. So, because I know definitely you're not saying that Halle Berry is no longer attractive. We all, every common sense, like-minded person, see what she went through, felt like the real ones was like, ooh, wow, glad you didn't. Ooh, you bad. And we still like her and we don't feel gay at all. The fact that you think that now, because she considered that role and didn't play it, now the fact that you think that that causes you to be gay if you consider her attractive, I really, really view as an attempt to come out the closet. So Curtisha, claps for you. And if you're not quite all the way out, that's okay too. But, you know, baby steps, tiny steps is better than no steps. You go, boy. You go, boo-boo. Oh, blah. Too many different things make you feel gay, bruh. For you not to be gay, though. Oh, my mama. Thinking Halle Berry is attractive makes you feel gay. Letting Vivica do certain things to you that you promise not to do no more makes you feel gay. I don't get it. Oh, my mama. Don't miss this movie. Y'all controlling the host on this whole head for all that trolling and host.
Snake Wood Nip Hustle. Big shout out to my nigga SPI, Spotter Low. You know, I'm in the black box. Had to come through, tap in, show love one time. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all subscribe. Stay tuned. All that.